and for real Shine Wild Ones, it's Bernadette. I'm here with your Pick a Card Tarot reading for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. I cannot wait to tell you all about this card. I have been like almost every day when I pull cards for you, I'm like, please let this be the day. Please let this be the day. Please let this be the day. And today was finally the day. Yay! Before we jump right in there, I'd love to ask you guys a favor. If you have an Arctic Tarot and Oracle card deck, it would mean the world to me and the Animal Allies if you would leave an Amazon testimonial. It's very helpful. When other people are looking to see what decks they want to get, it's very helpful in getting the word and the energy and the medicine of all the animal allies out there. And you'd be doing me, a total solid. You don't have to have purchased the deck on Amazon. Tons of you get it from me directly on my website, whatismyspiritanimal.com, for which I thank you so much. But I really, really need to up my Amazon reviews. The link is in the comments below. And if you'll consider, again, leaving a testimonial, that would be awesome. So, jumping into the card for today, it is the Sun, the Duck. Oh my gosh, this card. It's my favorite card in the deck, right? But I through my readings, my gosh, the amount of people when this card shows up for them that report back to me like a week, a month, 6 months, even a year, and they can come in like the worst, like they're in the worst situation, the worst place, and they get this card and they're just like, really? And then and then all these things come to pass, and the next thing you know, the sun is just shining so brightly on them, and all of the blessings and all of that gold, beautiful healing and abundance energy, right? So before we jump into the tarot card meanings of the sun card, which is based on the traditional Rider-Waite meanings, I do want to say something about ducks, because as you guys know, and I try to say this in every video so that you're reminded, but the new people that are joining us, and thanks to all my regular subscribers and commenters, and the new subscribers and commenters, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wild Pack. And these are readings, you guys. This isn't just Bernadette pulling her cards out, flipping a card and going, oh yeah, I know what that animal and that card means. My job when I do these daily readings is to feel into it. What is the because there are so many different ways you can tip off on the symbolism and meaning of these cards, right? And these animals. So my job is to feel into the collective and what is the overall message? What's going to be most helpful to the most of you? And if you'll really kind of listen, it is helpful to you every day, even if it doesn't like immediately register. There should be something throughout your day, or even the very next day. They're like so close in time that it will be applicable. So the first thing I want to say about ducks is this: they are they are not necessarily associated with wealth, but they should be, and they should be associated with just amazing, just the amazing ability to make everything that comes out of your mouth pure gold. Here's why. Ducks eat rocks and sand to go into their stomach to help them break down the food. Well, back when the gold rush was on in California, the miners noted that the ducks would eat gold nuggets and gold flecks way before they would eat the rocks and the sand. So when you take a look at that history and how prevalent it was at that time, there's such a very cool, I think, idea based around what are you trying to digest? Maybe you've got some physical stuff. Maybe you've got some actual, digestive issues. If you do, the duck and the sun card and just the gold, start working with that. Start meditating with that. Start, whatever your ritual would be, do that and see if you can't help alleviate all that. Like get the richness of, or the value of your gut, get that up to par, right? Like clean it out, clear it out, trust that the gold is going to break down what you need, and your gut is going to be able to do what it needs to do. Now, having said that, notice I used the word gut a couple of times. That's because there's a tremendous amount of science that points to the gut being our second brain. It's got like 200 million neurons or some kind of nonsense like that. And it's like, I don't know, 10 times, 5 times, 10 times the amount of neurons that go into your brain. And of course, it's all connected to your vagal nerve. So when you're getting these messages, you may think you're getting them through your third eye chakra, and that may be true. At that moment, with that message, you may be, but start paying attention to your gut, because you might be receiving messages there more frequently and more accurately than you might think, because you haven't turned your attention to it. It might not have occurred to you. Y'all, I'm having a hot flash. I'm so, I'm so excited about this card. The sun, the gold is just lighting me up in here, and it's pretty cool here. Um, so take a look at that, and then if you, if you have something you want to say to somebody or even to yourself, just think of your words as your intentions being infused with that priceless, valuable gold. And if other people, and this extends to other people, maybe other people around you aren't valuing what you have to say. Maybe they're not giving it the credit that it deserves or that you want. And so make sure that you're getting that. Make sure that you're, consuming or getting what you need, so that when you voice what you want to voice, you think it's valuable and you stand behind that. That's it. If it's an opinion, if it's an observation, if it's whatever it is, it belongs to you and it's sacred to you. And we talk about the sacred voice all the time. We talk about, speaking our truth and standing our ground. The sun, the duck, and those metaphors. Don't go eat gold, y'all. Put it in a bank account. Gold prices are going to rise again. So, but visualize yourself, that metaphorical gold inside of you, because you are priceless. You really are. And no matter what you say, even if you say it in anger, even if you regret saying it later, but especially if it's said out of love and great help for other people. And if you don't know your own value, this card and metaphorically eating the gold and having all of your words come out with the gold, the gold chunks in it, man, that's a big message for you guys today. So, okay, so moving on, we are going to jump right in there to the traditional tarot card meaning for the sun. Now, when you take a look at the Rider-Waite card, you get this super cutie pie, little naked baby on the white horse, and you've got the sun, and you've got the sunflowers, and it is all about accomplishment and enlightenment. And just listen, it's time to take center stage. You know what? Let other people have hangups. Do your thing. Take a look at the card. The sky is just beautiful and bright, and it's cloudless. And the child actually is wearing a crown of sunflowers, more of the gold, more of the fire, right? And it's kind of like orange as well. So I love that this card came out on the Sacral Chakra Day, because tomorrow is Solar Plexus Day, and you start to get these colors and intentions and energies that start to blend into each other. And the next thing you know, my gosh, everything explodes for you in just this amazing, like, how the heck did that happen kind of way. I've had a year like that. And I assure you, this is not bragging. It is not, but it is a really, in my personal opinion, I just think it speaks to the sun card so much, because, y'all, I had a tough time last year with my health. That carried over into the first of the year. I was a hot mess in January and February, just started coming back to life, to literal life in March. And now the pandemic's coming, right? Okay. So I'm looking out over on this year, and I'm like, well, shiitake mushrooms. That's all I could say was shiitake mushrooms. And then all of these amazing things started happening with the Ark. It won all of these awards, all of these top awards. It made history. Record numbers are selling. Just all of this stuff. And I have you guys to thank for that. I will never, ever, ever forget it. And the gratitude that I wish for you guys every day is wow. So when I'm at my end of this year, and I'm kind of looking out at next year for y'all, right? Doing a year pulling for y'all, and I'll post that sometime next week. I'm really reminded that whatever is going on around us it's not that it's inconsequential, it is consequential. But what's going on inside of us is the most important. And believe you me, as much, darkness as there was potentially for me this year, my business, everything, I've done nothing but be, have a really great upturn in business, achieve really great things. And when I think about, well, why is that? Yeah, I can liken it to a sacred contract. Yeah, I can this. Yeah, I can that. And I could explain it away based on my spiritual beliefs in metaphysics, what I think I know about, or what I think I understand about metaphysics. And at the end of the day, I'm just a person that never loses hope. No matter how bad things are, I am the eternal optimist. You wouldn't guess that about me probably, but I really am. So while all of the world was spinning and fires are going off everywhere and riots and all of this stuff, the fear, I sat in my I sat in my little house here in Gainesville and I dreamed my dream, and poof, I didn't even dream the dream that happened, which is really where I'm getting to. This card is about dreaming the dreams you don't even imagine can happen because you haven't allowed yourself. But and you may not even understand what the pinnacle looks like. You may not even know about this or about that. And let me just tell you one thing. One of those contests, it's a story of Lemmy Snicket's, series of unfortunate events. But I got up one morning and the spirit animal said to me, "Hey, you're about to miss something. You're going to miss a deadline." And I'm looking through my bills and I'm looking through my appointments. And all of a sudden, I saw this trophy in my mind. I saw this big gold medal in my mind. And I went, did I enter or get nominated or whatever? The Carta Awards. Went and checked. Nope. And it was the final day of that. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I know that there was a huge orchestration behind that because Bernadette does not miss deadlines. I'm too type A for that, right? Triple Scorpio, type A, type A, type A, type A, right? So there's something that you guys are supposed to be dreaming of. There are accomplishments that are coming for you. And what's interesting is, even though this is a go, 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 get it done, get it done, get it done day, and it's all about accomplishment, y'all, I know a million songs about the sun. I would probably be singing Katrina and the Waves, walking on sunshine. Whoa! I'd probably be doing all that. Makes me feel good. Hey, but for whatever reason, I'm really called to remind you guys of the John Denver song, Sunshine on My Shoulder. It's quieter. It's more like a prayer. It's just more like a prayer. And so look up that song if you don't know it. If you don't know it, you haven't lived. You haven't lived, okay? But your whole life's going to change when you hear that song. And if you do know that song, hum it to yourself. Take the lyrics or whatever, a picture of the album, of this or that, whatever. Put it on your vision board. Put it in your journal. Sing it out loud. Get friends. Get around a fire pit. Sing it around. Sing it with friends. And that song is so important for you guys today. I don't even know why, but it really, really is. So, okay. So just very quickly, when you take a look at this card, notice that the sunflowers are admiring the child from the safety behind a tall gray wall. Don't keep yourself behind a wall. There's no reason for you to is it safe? Is it safe? Y'all, there's a naked baby up on a horse. Now, come on, that kid is not afraid to be up on that horse, nor is that child afraid to be naked in public, which is another thing. Let me tell you guys something. I have so many of you that have written me about how you've been dreaming about having your own YouTube channel or Instagram or whatever for years. I did the same thing. Hey, I was in the entertainment business for 20 something years. For God's sake, I started out as a performer and I'm like, I don't know. Because I knew I couldn't be anything other than myself. And let's be honest, I'm a little quirky. Don't think I don't know that. I absolutely do. But it's who I am. And I'm not going to try to be, nor can I be anybody else. It was the worst 10 minutes of my life. So you cannot be afraid. You cannot be afraid to show your true colors. But I won't lie. It's a little to do these videos and pump out what I think or what, psychic readings or this or that, and be myself. Because, most people that are kicking it on Facebook and Instagram, they're the people with the big pouty fish lips and they're young and they got this whole thing going behind them. Unless you're an Italian grandma, You know, you're 95 years old and you're teaching people, you know, authentic Italian cooking. And so I understand your fears. I understand your trepidation. Believe me, I do. But today is not that day. Today is the day that you take your proverbial clothes off and you show up naked to the world and celebrating who you are, celebrating what you're like naked, celebrating just, just I'm stumbling because I know you guys may get tired of me saying you're powerful and you have the potential and you have this and you have that, but you really do. And there's only so many adjectives that I can give it. So you got the message, you know, oh yes, they call him the streak. Whee! Be that song, streak everywhere, metaphorically, right? Metaphorically. Okay. So when you shame, that's the word. Get rid of any shame you have. That's the word of the week, y'all. No shame. Animals are not ashamed. Wild animals are not ashamed. There's no reason to be ashamed. And I don't care what you've done, who you've done it to yourself or somebody else, what lie you've told, what you've stolen, what drug and alcohol problem you have. Maybe you're just a straight up B word. Maybe you're just a straight up A word, A-H-O-L-E word. Maybe you are that. I don't know. Maybe. And maybe you're watching this video because your life hadn't been working. You're trying to find a different way to be. Maybe, I don't know. But the bottom line is, there's no shame. Stop it right now with the shame business. Enough, right? Okay. So also this card is a card about, of course, you know, the egg there. It's about life. It's about reemergence. It's about, you know, everything that an egg stands for, the gestation period. Then you crack out of your shell. You know, that's some super deep symbolism, because in this card, when you come out of that shell, you are hit right there, full on in the face, and on your shoulders makes me happy. You've got sunshine on your shoulders, and then your crown grows, and it's all about new life and new just, you know, and you just want to present it to the world, which, by the way, let me just say this. If you would focus more on what you want to do, the why you want to do it, then you'll get past whatever your fears are about presenting yourself naked and unashamed to the world, because it will be about the work that you're supposed to do and not about you. And if that's not a powerful motivator, I gotta tell you guys, if it weren't for the spirit animals, I'd probably be still sitting around going, you know, I should start a YouTube channel. People ask me about it. They ask me, do I have, I mean, every third word out of clients' mouths, do you have a YouTube channel? Yeah, a YouTube channel. Are you on Instagram? Okay. If it weren't for the animals and my commitment to them, it's not that I'm not committed to y'all or humanity at large. I'm just a lot more committed to the animals. So if it hadn't have been for them, I don't know that this would be here. And hopefully it's helpful to you guys. Now, when you're on a white horse, you know, white is like the color of divinity. It's angelically inspired. It's God inspired. It's universe, source, whatever label or name you want to give it. But that is about movement. Horses are, you know, if you notice in the chariot, I used horses, and there are horses used in every chariot card in the Rider-Waite deck, because they're about that fast pace, that forward momentum. So there's something today that will probably propel you forward, almost like you tripped over it. And when you trip, you've got that, you know, that wham, you move forward a lot more quickly, because you're like, I'm going to face plant. And it'll be okay if you trip today. Pick yourself up, see what it was that knocked you over, and bless it, give it some thanks, and move on about your merry business. Now, the sun card is associated with the Hebrew letter Resh, and that representation is energy flow between lunar intuitive consciousness and intellectual understanding. So when you're traveling that kind of path, especially on today, and the Kabbalists refer to this as the collecting intelligence, you're going to understand everything that you need to understand. There won't be any like, well, it's the day of naked, y'all. We get naked. And everything will be so clear to you because it won't be hidden behind anything. That gold and beautiful light is going to shine on it, and nothing will be hidden to you, and you'll understand it profoundly at your core. Now, when you take a look at ducks, right, they have just, you know, even going back to that whole first part about them eating rocks and stones, but it being noted like over and over and over again about them eating gold and preferring gold nuggets over preferring rocks and sand, you know, during the gold rush, they have unbelievably excellent vision. And their eyes are located on the sides of their head, so their field of vision is almost 340 degrees. And what's cool is, this is so cool, Um, they've got 3 eyelids. And when you take a look at that and you equate it to the number 3, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Maiden, Mother, Crone, um, the threes, right? We talk about the threes a lot. Your vision is exactly what the duck's vision is because of the shape of their eyes. They can see both far away and near at the same time. So whatever this is that's shown to you today, when you're told you're going to have a really deep understanding, that you ain't kidding. And so be prepared, and make sure that you come back and write in the comments what you were shown. We'd love to hear it. I know I would. So there is, ducks, they don't, I think to some people, they don't appear on the surface to maybe be the smartest animals. Maybe they can't do calculus. I can't either. Or geometry, and I still count on my fingers. Yes, I do. But they, they, their awareness is uncanny. It's really almost like a cat. They can be sleeping. So where I live, there's a big old giant man-made pond, and in the back of my house, I'll show you guys one day. There is a stream that goes through there, man-made again. But that is in a protected wetland that I live in front of. And so I get the opportunity to observe ducks all the time, especially during the rainy season. I'll be out in my yard and I'll hear whack, 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 whack. And floating, floating down the little stream behind my house is like all these ducks. And I'm like, hey, y'all. And they whack, 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 and they go on about their merry business. So when I say they're aware, they can be sleeping because they do that. And you think you're being quiet. It's like trying to be quiet sneaking up on a cat. Good luck with that. So I always associate ducks with awareness, but I associate them because of the eggs and that tie to fertility, that tie to life, giving life, that they're aware on beyond the veil and here in this reality. So, and the other thing is, ducks come in about a bajillion different colors. Have you ever seen a mandarin duck? They don't even look real. They look like stuffed animals or little statues. Their colors are just like, oh my God, they're brilliant. And if you see them in the sun, they're even more brilliant. So what does that mean? Please don't make me sing Cyndi Lauper about, your true colors. Come on now. The other thing, I'd never heard this before, but I was talking about ducks the other day with somebody, and they said, did you know that ducks, that their quack doesn't echo? And I didn't want to call them out, but I thought that's going to defy the logic of, say science. And I looked it up. Sure enough, ducks quack, they echo. And so ducks always, well, not always, but they've started to mean for me, duck can help you if people are saying things that are untrue about you. And what that really means is you don't need to care. You don't need to say anything about it. You don't need to talk. You don't even need to address it. And likewise, if someone comes to you and they're talking smack about somebody else, why would you buy into that? Why would you want to be around a person that's why do you want to engage in hearsay? Don't do it. It's not healthy. And that will definitely take that light, suck it right out of the room, suck it right off of your shoulders, done do it. Okay. So also, ducks, like any other animals that go in flocks, they're all about family. So today, all of this may be about your family, whatever your family is. Like, I consider you guys family. Holy cow. The love and support that you guys have you just so graciously offered is, I don't even have any words to talk about I just don't even have any words. It means a great deal to me. And I am truly invested in your life, meaning, how can I help you accomplish what you want to accomplish? How can I help you heal what you want to heal? And I'm really invested in that, which, by the way, dovetails when you talk about family. The dovetailing part of this is a duck hen will produce eggs, an amount of eggs commensurate with the amount of sunlight that's available. Doesn't that make good sense? no, it's just almost impossible to do things in the darkness. Or if you are a person who navigates well in the darkness, do you really want to, or really should you? And again, that's a metaphorical thing. And yes, we've got to have darkness if we have light, although I dream of a world one day where it doesn't have to be that way, and I believe that world exists. I do. um, it's like the more light that you let come in, the more light you shine outward, the more fertile you'll be. And maybe that's about having a human baby. Maybe it's about a business. Maybe it's about a that. I don't know. Whatever fertility is, how many eggs you want to produce, and how many eggs you want to hatch. Stay in the sun, stay in the light, let the golden energy come in. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I just thank you guys so much. I hope that you're having just a beautiful holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. And if you're like bah humbug and you don't celebrate any of them now at the end of the year, I still hope you're happy and I still hope you're having a magical time. So pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the little red bell down there, and that way you'll get all the notifications for all the great symbolism and meanings and energy and tarot cards and healing and spirit animals and everything else we talk about on this channel. But what's the most important thing? The next time you open up your heart and your everything and you allow that sun to come in, I want you to look right into that light and say, I'm